Hello everyone, it's Shay. Welcome to or back to my channel, and today we're going to go over how I got my natural window light photos that I took last week. I decided I would do a little tutorial on how I achieved those photos, what kind of settings I used, how you can also use natural window light to get really great photos, because natural light from a window is a really great source to create some nice soft light that can really enhance your portraits. Okay, so let's jump right into it. First off, I want to talk about the angle. If you're doing a portrait like I did, where I was leaning against a window, you really have to keep in mind the angle at which you are facing in order to get the best kind of lighting. So what I did to bring more depth to my portrait was to kind of have myself at an angle, so I wasn't completely next to the window. I angled my face just a little bit to kind of experiment with how much of my face would be lit by the natural light. And it's really just about playing with a different angle and taking a few shots and seeing what you like, because you can use the light and the shadows to really contour certain parts of your face and make a really nice moody photo depending on how much of your face is shaded and how much is lit up. Just remember, you don't want to face completely away from your light source, or else you will just be a silhouette. Maybe that's the look you're going for. You can also play around with silhouettes in natural window light, which is really cool. But if you want a close-up portrait, don't face completely away, or else you will be dark and your background will be overexposed and blown out. Okay, so obviously lighting is super important. Light is literally what makes photography possible. So some tips that I have about lighting, especially as a portrait photographer and then also just being a self-portrait photographer, is I like to think of light as if it were a liquid. So basically what I kind of visualize is if light was like rain or a shower or something, where would it be highlighting or hitting your face? And obviously you want to kind of highlight your cheekbones and the high parts of your face whenever you're doing some sort of portraits, because it just looks very nice and it's naturally where light would hit. So you always want to try to angle your face towards that light to make a nice contrast. So that's why I kind of think of light as a liquid, because if you had your face up like this, the water would kind of hit right here. So you can kind of think of it that way. Maybe it's helpful, maybe it's not. And obviously everybody's face is different. Everybody wants a different look and tone to their photos. So it's really just about playing around with different angles and posing to kind of see what works for you. Don't be afraid to play with props. So I actually have these white curtains that are really wispy. They're really nice and light and almost see-through, and I use them in my shoot to create kind of a nice blur along the side, pulling it in front of the lens and kind of letting it go while I was taking the picture. Or eventually what I did is I just kind of draped it over the side of the lens. So little things like that, if you have cloth or lace, that can really look super cool for these photos. Especially I was using an f1.8 50mm lens, so if you have a really wide aperture, that will be really blurred and it'll bring just another texture and another element to your portrait to really step it up. So for me personally, I wasn't too concerned about the color of this photo. I did edit some where I was really happy with one that was very focused on the brown tones, but what I really enjoyed doing was actually doing a black and white, because for black and white photos, I really feel like the emphasis is on the lighting, your highlights, your shadows, all of that. And since I was really focused on the lighting for these photos, the black and white really enhanced them and really brought my mood and the tone that I was trying to achieve, really brought it all together and created a really cool, moody kind of look and feel that I was going for. It just really looked great because the light was so smooth and soft. I highly recommend doing this kind of shoot with a wider aperture, so maybe 1.8 to anything really lower than maybe f4. Maybe f4 would be your max, just because it really adds to the effect that you're trying to go for and really brings you in close. What am I doing with my hand? Gives it a more intimate, cozy, personalized feel. This is a great way to practice with lighting, because all you need is a window with some light coming through and a camera to just start practicing. And like I always advocate, just kind of experiment, practice, and see what you like best. So thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. I hope you all enjoyed. I will have more behind the scenes of photo shoots that I'm doing. Make sure that you go check out my last one that I did in my outdoor desert photography shoot. And of course, make sure that you subscribe, like this video, and give me a comment what kind of things you want to see, what tutorials you want, and what kind of photo shoots that you want me to try. Okay, bye guys.